nice, don't you think so? What would you say it's like apples, perhaps? Apples. Okay, let me get into a comfortable position and we can begin this drawing, can't we? There we go, little creature, are you ready? I'm just going to absolutely get right in there and begin drawing. Why not, after all? Why not? whilst you could think of it as being scary, that we are so small, that we are just one thing out of billions, I actually think the opposite, little creature. I actually think that it should be relaxing. It should encourage us to worry less. To worry less, indeed. Because why is it your responsibility to worry about you as it is for me. Or maybe that's just my simple, tiny little brain being abused by simple, tiny little things. Maybe I need to get more comfortable again. One moment, little creature. There we go, there we go. Sometimes it's difficult for somebody as big as me to get comfortable, you know. You know, another analogy or metaphor. What is the difference between an analogy and a metaphor? I don't know. I don't know. One of the many things that my small little brain doesn't know. That's okay. It's okay to have a small little brain and to not know things. But another analogy or metaphor similar to the tapestry is thinking of a beach. Think of a beach, my little creature. A lovely little beach. A lovely little beach. It's massive. It's golden. It's sandy. Of course, of course. Well, actually, you can get pebble beaches, can't you? But pebble beaches, they kind of suck, don't they? Let's be real. Let's be real. As much as I like pebbles, pebble beaches, no. Sand knows something to be true, because there's so many different perspectives on the same thing, and often these different perspectives, they're all valid. They're all valid if you can provide good reasoning for why your perspective, which might be different to another person's, if you can provide good reasoning as to why your perspective is good and true, then it is good and true. It is as simple as that. Perhaps that is also why there is often so much conflict in the world, arguments, disagreements, things like that, because we have different perspectives on the same issue, and yet both perspectives can be valid at the same time, despite the fact that they are opposing perspectives. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, little creature? Am I making any sense? Or am I once again just absolutely waffling? Is that what I'm doing? Am I waffling? Is my waffling stupid? Is it too much? Should I cease? Should I cease the waffling, my little creature, my friend, and just draw? Just draw, empty my mind and draw, instead of trying to empty your mind with drawing and relaxing things. It is ever so fun just to draw, you know. You probably can't see right now, but I'm kicking my feet in the air like a school child, filled with whimsy and wonder and fun and happiness. And all I'm doing is drawing, really. That's all I'm doing. And yet it fills me with wonder and happiness and whimsy. You know what I'm saying? I hope that you're engaging in activity today, little creature, that will also fill you with whimsy, you know, and fun. Not everything has to be serious all the time. Not everything has to be productive all the time. That is something that I struggle with, you know. I feel the need to be productive almost all the time. When I have spare time, sometimes I feel bad if I'm not being productive. What an absurd notion. What an absurd notion. You know what I think deep down, really, genuinely? I think it is impossible to waste time. There is no such thing. There is no such thing as wasting time, because every experience is an experience and is valid and has something to offer. Even if you are just having fun, in my opinion, actually that is extremely important and valuable, to have fun. What do we do in life once our basic needs are met? We have fun. We invent things, don't we? We invent funny ways to have fun, tell jokes, play games, engage in leisure activities. That's what we do once all our basic needs are met. And so surely that could be perceived as the highest attainable goal, to have fun. I think so. I think so personally. I think having fun is very important indeed. Tip-top important. What purpose does laughter serve biologically, evolutionarily? There is none, surely. Perhaps you could argue something like social cohesion. It helps social cohesion, helps strengthen social bonds, but not really. Come on, laughter occurs even when you're on your own. Happens to me all the time when I'm on my own. I'm laughing at thoughts and jokes and ideas and things that I see. Laughter is so spontaneous, don't you think? And so wonderful. So wonderful. Probably my favorite thing in life, period. I love to laugh. I love to laugh so much. It's my favorite thing. It is my favorite thing. And yet, yes, it does serve any simple biological or evolutionary function, and yet, in my opinion, it is my most highly valued thing in life. Yes, indeed. What do you think, little creature? Do you think I've rambled enough for the day? Do you think I've filled that little tiny brain of yours with stupid thoughts from my tiny little brain? I've been transferring thoughts from my brain into your brain, haven't I? Transferring thoughts. And that's actually quite magical if you think about it. The ability for us simply to communicate ideas from my brain to yours. You know, little creature, I remember watching a long time ago now a short little interview with Elon Musk, and you know he has a company that makes Neuralink. Neuralink, it's a chip, a little sort of microchip that they put inside your brain, and at the moment it is basically allows you to do things neurologically that you may not be able to do. For example, it's being used for people with disabilities, with neurological disabilities, and it helps them to do things that they otherwise couldn't do. Now that is phenomenal. Obviously, that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But in this interview, Elon Musk was talking about the potential future of Neuralink and what it could be when it becomes more advanced and when it becomes more commercialized. And in that aspect, more people would have Neuralink. You know, not necessarily people who are disabled, but just everyday people. It could become like a smartphone, you know what I'm saying? Everybody might have a Neuralink chip installed in their brain. Personally, I think that's absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And I don't think I would ever have a chip implanted in my brain. No. But one of the ideas that Mr. Elon Musk spoke about in this interview was the idea that if two people had the Neuralink chip in their brains, installed in their brains, maybe you have one in yours, I have one in mine, we could communicate ideas directly between our brains, between the chips, without any need for actual out loud verbal communication. It would simply be like data transferring between one chip to another, like how computers transfer information, right? When a computer sends an email to another computer, it doesn't actually speak about it, does it? It simply sends the information across. It simply sends it across. And that is how human communication could occur in the future if we were all to become embedded with these microchips in our brains. Imagine the implications of that. Imagine the implications of that. What if we lost the ability to speak out loud, verbally? Because it would be made redundant, wouldn't it? It would be made redundant by the chips. Maybe at that point, speaking would be like an art form, you know, or like a pastime for fun, you know, like how some mediums of art are just like for fun. They're just a pastime now. You know, some people, some nerds, I mean that in a nice way, an affectionate way. Some people, they have typewriters, you know, they collect typewriters and they use typewriters and stuff like that. Obviously that is a totally redundant form of communication and writing, but it's fun. It is fun to indulge in. Of course. Maybe in the future, spoken language will be like that. Can you good things about that is that it will eradicate. I can't think of it right now, my brain has stopped working. It will eradicate mistakes being made. You know how sometimes when we communicate ideas to each other, maybe the other person receiving the information, they misinterpret what we say, maybe because I explain myself poorly, or I use a bad choice of words, or maybe the tone of my voice conveys something that I didn't mean to convey, you know. So information is misunderstood, or something, some sort of subtext or hidden meaning is taken from the message when it was not intended that way. Now, those mistakes will be totally and utterly eradicated if we do have microchips in our brain, because the information will simply be sent perfectly. The medium of communication will be perfect. There will be no room for mistakes. It's kind of like the difference between a phone call and a text message. In a text message, the information is there, black and white. You can't mistake it, right? It is what it is. But if you're making a phone call, it's very easy to mishear somebody. Maybe you think they say one thing, but they actually said another, simply because of the quality of the phone, or I guess maybe the sound is not perfect. But text is far superior, in my opinion, far superior indeed. Okay, my little creature, I do believe now that I have rambled long enough, don't you? You're probably sick of me by now, aren't you? Sick of looking at my face, my giant face staring down at you. Sick of me drawing all over your face. Sick of me saying these strange things, strange little thoughts that keep appearing in my brain. Where do they appear from? Who put those thoughts there? Who put those thoughts in my brain? I don't know. Anyway, there we go, little creature. There we go, little creature. Your face is looking absolutely beautiful, as always, but now it looks like enhanced. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like your natural beauty has been enhanced by my drawing skills and my absolute artistic capabilities. You are so welcome. You are so welcome, little creature. So welcome. Anyway, you can go home and wash off this whenever you want, okay? I hope you enjoyed our little therapy session today. Hope you found it relaxing. That was the only goal today, just to have a little bit of relaxation. So, you know, I hope you had some relaxation, and I'll probably see you again in the future, won't I, little creature? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. And we shall do all manner of fun, tingly, relaxing things again in the future. It shall be wonderful and marvellous. I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing you again, little creature. My little creature. Goodbye, little creature. Take care out there in the outside world. You'll do just fine. I'm certain of it. I am absolutely certain. Everything will be okay. Goodbye. Goodbye, little creature. Bye 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 bye. Hello there. How are you doing today? How absolutely wonderful it is to see you once again. Yes, indeed, it is me, Dr. John Smith. You know what? I have been watching videos on the internet, on YouTube, and I saw something very peculiar indeed, indeed. I saw somebody drawing on somebody else's face. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? The things that humans do, the things that humans like myself and like you, obviously we're identical human beings, you and I. Absolutely, absolutely. You know what's absolutely crazy? You know what's absolutely crazy? In the office next door to us, there is a person there. There is a person who is, let us say, fat. Okay, there is no way to say it politely. Okay, the person in the office next door, they're very fat. I don't mean to be rude or anything. Okay, that is simply a fact. And another fact is that I can hear them walking up and down the stairs in the building next door. Can you believe it? Concrete separates us, brick and mortar, and yet I can hear quite loudly whenever they walk up and down the stairs, simply because they are so fat. And again, I don't mean to be rude, okay? I don't mean to be rude. It's just a funny little factoid. I just think it's crazy that I can hear them so loudly. I can hear the stairs creaking under their immense weight. I'm sorry, is it rude of me to comment on somebody's weight? Is it rude? I'm not trying to be mean. But you know what it's like sometimes in this office? I need peace. I need peace and quiet in order to do the things that I do. So anything that disturbs the peace and quiet, it immediately grabs my attention. And you know, it is a little bit irksome. What a funny word that is, irksome. So, of course I notice it. And it just seems so absolutely obscene that the stairs in a building next door to us with concrete, bricks, mortar, cement in between us, I can still hear the stairs creaking underneath the weight of a human being walking on it. How absolutely crazy is that? What do you mean I'm the crazy one? Please, for a moment, take a look at me. Do I look crazy to you? No. I'm sane. I am the most sane individual of all. And besides, wouldn't you agree that this world, this planet, is crazy? And if you are to agree that the world is crazy, then to be sane in an insane world, that is insane. That is crazy, to be sane in an insane world. If the world is insane, then it is better to be insane. Because it means that you don't fit in with the insanity. Absolutely, indeed. You know who I think is actually the most insane of all? The normal person. The average normal person. You know what I'm talking about? These people who they go and have a normal one. They have a normal one. They go to the pub on the weekends. They go to the pub after work. They have a drink with their workmates. They talk about things like sports. Can you imagine talking about sports? Drinking alcohol, aka poison. That's a normal one. These people, they're almost too normal. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, no, you must understand. I'm saying they're so normal, they're like a caricature of what is normal, thus making them abnormal. Still not making any sense. Don't worry. I talk a lot of waffle. I talk a lot of stupid waffle, don't I? Oh, look at that. I can just poke you right in the face. It makes a funny noise. Oh, look at the way that your face deforms. It deforms when I poke it. Like applying pressure to your face deforms it. Oh, bendy. I need to get really close to see that though, to really see it. Bendy. What does that feel like for you? What does that feel like? Okay. Oh, Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I can't express myself. Maybe that's just a problem innate in males. You know what I'm saying? As men, we're not very good at expressing ourselves sometimes, are we? I know for a fact that I bottle things up. I don't express them. But for me, what it is I think, what's the point? What's the point in expressing myself? Is it going to improve the situation? No. So why not just bottle it up and get on with it? That's what I think. I think that might be a common thought pattern amongst men in particular. Obviously, I'm sure there are women out there that think and feel exactly the same, but you know what I'm talking about. I guess I'm talking about the male experience. There are some unique factors to the male experience, just like there are some unique factors to the female experience, of course, but obviously there are more commonalities between us than differences. The human experience is above all unifying, you know, that makes up the majority of our experience on this planet. But there are a few curiosities that are specific, or maybe not entirely specific, but occurs more in, for example, men than women, or occurs more in women than men, you know. It's just interesting, really, isn't it? Interesting to look at the differences, to wonder why they occur, and more than anything, I think, interesting to try and empathize and to understand the perspective of another. You know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? Or am I waffling once again? Waffling and saying nonsense once again? You know what? I think some red would go absolutely perfectly right now on this little section here. Just like around the corner here, around the edge, and over here as well. Okay, let me see if I got a red in here. Oh, look at that. Absolutely perfect. It was just out there. It was begging to be used. It's like this was fate. Oh, yes, look at that. That red. Instantly adding so much pop. I'm talking pop. Straight up a pop. That's what we're adding right now with this. Oh goodness me, with the green as well. I'm gonna have to blend this so we go red to orange to green, and it's going to absolutely look phenomenal. You're going to look totally as I said earlier, I do care about other people, I do take the time to be considerate of others' needs. I love to make people laugh, maybe you can tell. I love to make other people laugh. That's probably my favorite thing. To do. But yes, even with all that, ultimately, I don't care if people have a good or a bad opinion about myself, about me. And that's kind of like a double-edged sword, you know what I'm saying? It's a double-edged sword. Because on the one hand, it's brilliant, right? It's brilliant. I do what I want. And I'm not concerned if other people think, that guy looks like an idiot. I don't care. I'm just going to do what I want anyway. And also, I'm not doing things for other people, I'm not doing things so that other people will think better of me, I'm doing things simply because I want to, really. Because I have the urge and the desire to do it. And that is very freeing and liberating. However, the other side of the sword, the double-edged sword, if you don't care about other people's opinions, then you do almost automatically become a little bit of a social outcast. Simply because you don't care. There are things that we do in society, in social situations, that are entirely performative. And that's not a bad thing. It serves a function. Performative BS, like small talk, whatever it might be, some sort of polite nothing. Maybe it doesn't really serve a purpose, but it does serve a purpose, and that purpose is social cohesion. Maybe, let's say for example, two people, they're in an awkward little situation together, whatever it is, and inane small talk actually relieves the awkwardness of the situation somewhat. That is the purpose of it. That is the purpose of the small talk, although it is inane and small, and you could argue pointless. It is not pointless. It serves the purpose of social cohesion. But sometimes people like me, when you don't care about the opinions of others, you won't go through the trouble of doing these small things like the small talk, or the aspects of social expectations that promote social cohesion. Sometimes you just won't do it because, as I said, you don't care. If somebody thinks you're weird, if somebody thinks the situation is awkward, you don't care. So you don't perform the necessary little things. To keep the social cohesion. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say is about the double-edged sword. It is good in a way to not care about other people's opinions of you, but it is also bad in a way. It's a good thing to care about other people's opinions of you. It is a good thing to do the little things in social situations that you're kind of expected to do. It is good to follow the rules. The rules are there for a purpose. Even though you know me, I'm a little bit of a rule breaker. I like breaking rules, you know what I'm saying? I got that innate disrespect for authority. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I encounter authority, I immediately think, you think you got authority over me, huh? Buddy, you think you got authority over me? What gives you that authority? Your authority is an illusion. It is an absolute illusion given to you by other people. And I will not give you that power over me. No. That's what I think when I encounter authority. I think, flip authority. I am the boss of me, nobody else. Nobody else will be the boss of me. That's what I think. Maybe that's a bit silly, maybe a bit immature, necessary. Absolutely necessary. And even a hierarchy is necessary, and it is necessary for the hierarchy to be clear. You know, it's necessary for it to be obvious who the one leader is, and for that one leader to make the final decision. Otherwise things don't happen, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise there's a lot of bumbling around. Everybody has an opinion to give, and everybody just ends up talking and not really doing anything or accomplishing anything. Sometimes you need one leader to step up and to say, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it, this is who is doing it, now go and do it. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise nothing gets done. Nothing gets done. If you think about it as well, in modern society, that's basically what we have still to this day. Even with democracy, we're just electing our leader, aren't we? We're just electing, we're choosing. As opposed to back in the day, what would you say came before democracy? Feudalism. I suppose it depends on the country and the time period and whatnot. But you know, in the past we had kings and queens. Basically the same thing, except we didn't appoint them through voting and elections. I guess they appointed themselves, either by birthright or by conquest. I'm not even sure that that's a bad thing, honestly, although probably does lead to more suffering of the average person, you know, like the peasants, like you and I, you know, us peasants. I guess when another king decided that he wanted to be king, it would be the peasants who suffered, the peasants like you and I. Wouldn't it? Feudalism probably not the greatest system. I honestly don't think democracy is the greatest system though, but I'm an idiot. I don't understand these things. It is important, I think, sometimes to admit when you're an idiot and when you don't know best. It's okay to simply know, I don't know. I don't know what. You're asking me my opinion on what? Why would I know about that? I'm an idiot. I don't know that. Go and ask an expert. Go and ask a professional. Go and ask someone who is more intelligent than me. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, my friend. I'm getting a little distracted. Losing my train of thought because of all the little noises and whatnot outside. Distracted me in my feeble, pea-sized brain. Cannot maintain my thoughts. Maybe I just get lost in the colouring for a little bit. What do you think? What do you think, my friend? Yes, you know what? This has proven to be an absolutely delightful activity. Don't you think so? Wouldn't you agree? Yes, exactly. A surprisingly pleasant and wonderful experience. I should like to do this again sometime, actually. Wouldn't you? Maybe we could make this like a new thing that we do. Drawing on your face. Maybe you could draw on my face one day. That would be interesting. My face is all big and lumpy there. It might not be so good. Look at my nose. The absolute size on my nose. That is a honker. You know what I'm saying? My nose, it could be classified accurately as a honker. You know, my nose, I got a lot of trouble with my nose, with the skin on my nose. I get lots and lots of blackheads, and I get a lot of like low rosacea. I think it's related to some of like the minor health problems I have. I have some minor chronic health problems. Sometimes it flares up, it's all like intestinal problems, IBS kind of problems, kind of autoimmune problems. I have reactions to certain things, certain foods. I have to be careful, but I also get like rosacea on the nose and sometimes on the cheeks. Sometimes it spreads and it flares up randomly. And you know, I've been keeping a food journal, trying to pinpoint what exactly is causing the rosacea on my nose and on my cheeks. It's very, very difficult to pinpoint. Very difficult. I have noticed a few things. You know what I noticed? Prawns. Prawns caused a massive flare-up on my nose. I noticed I ate some prawns. A small flare-up occurred. So I thought to myself, I will run an experiment where I eat an absolutely ungodly amount of prawns in one go, and we'll see what happens. And sure enough, the next day after eating the ungodly amount of prawns, my nose was the reddest it has ever been in a long time, and it spread to my cheeks a little bit too. And it always takes like a day or two minimum to go back to normal, or to some semblance of normalcy. But that was very interesting, because I pinpointed that prawns cause a flare-up, and that led me to, you know, with a little bit of research, I think it might be histamine related, but again, I'm not certain. Certain foods, though, they trigger like a histamine response in the body, and I think foods that are high in histamine or cause a high histamine response are at least partially responsible for this rosacea and problems with my nose, and it's also to do with burst blood vessels, burst capillaries. I have vein problems as well. I have varicose veins. Little unpleasant, a bit ugly, but you know, not that bad, really, not that bad. Of all the things in life to have to deal with, that's not that bad. I don't think so. But I think it's blood pressure related too. Honestly, the human body is so complicated, isn't it? There are so many multiple different factors occurring all at once. Very difficult to pinpoint problems and causes and to take action to rectify problems. That's the hardest thing, to know what action needs to be taken. That is the hardest thing. Maybe that is just the hardest thing in life, though, in general, you know what I'm saying? Knowing what to do is often harder than simply doing it. Even though doing it is often very hard too. It requires a lot of discipline, endurance, mental fortitude, physical ability sometimes. I know. just so absolutely flat. And I was thinking, your face, it is begging, absolutely begging to be drawn on with some watercolor pencils. Oh yes, I think you can see where I'm going with this, can't you? I think you can see where I'm going with this. I am going to draw on your face today with my brand new watercolor pencils. It's going to be an experiment. An experiment. I think they're going to mix with the rain, and it's all going to come together perfectly and beautifully. What do you say to that? You don't mind? You don't mind if I draw on that flat face of yours? Oh, absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Let me just get my pencils and we shall begin at once. What do you say? We start with the lovely green. Sorry, I'm just testing your face to begin with. Testing it, okay. You wouldn't understand, you're not an artist like myself, not an artist. You must test the canvas before you begin drawing. Of course, obviously, that's obvious to an artist like myself. Okay, let me begin, shall we? Let me begin. Oh, that is lovely. That is absolutely lovely. Absolutely fantastic. Look at that, look at that. It's mixing with the rain. The watercolor pencil is mixing with the rain and it's creating this sort of pseudo watercolor effect. Obviously it's not exactly the same as genuine watercolors, but it looks very similar. It looks very similar indeed. Interesting effect. Interesting effect. You know, my friend, I've had so many different people come to the office to try and solve this problem And suddenly on the screen, Rouge the Bat appears with the absolutely gigantic melons. Okay, let's be frank. Let's be honest. Gigantic. And she's got those seductive looking eyes. And she's got that eyeshadow. And she's got those long eyelashes. And she's got those hips as well. She's got the hips. What? I'm supposed to look at that as a young man, and I'm supposed to feel nothing, am I? I'm supposed to feel nothing. Okay. That is absolutely ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. Of course I find Rouge the Bat attractive. What do you mean? That's weird. What do you mean that's weird? She's a bat, a cartoon character, and a bat. That doesn't detract from the fact, okay? That doesn't detract from the fact that she has hips and boobs and, the seductive eyes. I'm supposed to be immune to the charms of that cartoon character, am I? Okay. I'm the weird one. I'm sorry for being a red-blooded male. Okay, let's be honest. If you put eyelashes and hips on anything, it's gonna make me go gaga. It's gonna make my brain go gaga. Okay. What? You're not used to this kind of conversation, are you? Not used to this conversation? Well, what you don't understand is that I am a real G. Okay, I'm one of the realest mother flippers out there. I will talk about absolutely anything and everything because I'm honest. Okay, I'm honest. I'll just say my little thoughts, spew them out into the world. Whereas other people, they present a very careful persona, a very careful version of themselves. They're careful about what they're saying. Oh, can you hear that? Oh, that's my tummy rumbling. I'm starving. Absolutely starving. Goodness me, that was a monstrous tummy rumble. Did you hear that? That's crazy. Probably doesn't help that I'm in this awkward little position here, drawing on you. And I'm absolutely boiling hot. The humidity in this room today, it's through the flipping roof, let me tell you that much. Through the flipping roof. But yes, as I was saying, these other people out there, they present a certain version of themselves. You only get to see like a portion of themselves. Maybe it's even a totally fake persona. Maybe it could even be a totally fake persona. But they're presenting to you what they want you to see. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Indeed, exactly. Exactamundo. They want you to believe that they are the version of themselves that they present. And they may do that for various different reasons, whatever, they might want you to think that they're a good person, virtuous person, morally good, whatever it is. But you know what? I'm going to be real. I'm going to be a human being like everybody else. And I'm going to say things just like a real human being. Are you a real human being? Your face is very flat, suspiciously flat indeed. Maybe you aren't even human after all, actually, are you? You know what you could do actually to prove that you're a human being? You could share with me your
think it enters the child's psyche without them knowing, and it sort of activates later in life. And then they're like, why am I attracted to inflating people? It makes no sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Is that a phenomenon? Is that a psychological phenomenon? Or am I insane? Could be me, couldn't it? I could be insane. Am I getting steamy? Oh my gosh, the humidity in here is so high. My goggles are getting steamy. Or maybe it's the conversation. Maybe everything's getting steamy in here. You know what I'm saying? Goodness me, I didn't realize how bad that was until I took them off. It's like going from 5 vision to 20/20. I don't know how vision works, but actually I do because I'm a doctor. Okay, I'm a doctor. I do know how vision works. Right, let me get another pencil. Just now too long. This pencil next. This pencil next. Now I'm trying to think if there were any other cartoon characters that I really had a crush on when I was a kid. I do know those Totally Spies. You know the Totally Spies girls? Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. In the shiny, like PVC latex clothing that they wore, those jumpsuit thingies. Oh my goodness me. You know I'd be liking that shiny, tight clothing to this day. I wonder if that's responsible for it. Honestly though, women just be looking good in anything, don't they? But if you put them in some tight, shiny clothing, they look even better, don't they? Oh my lord. Oh my lord, let me just check something rattling on the desk. Is there something rattling on the desk? There we go, that's better, isn't it? That's better, isn't it? I think most of my, cartoon crushes were on video game characters, actually. When I was younger, I definitely liked Coco Bandicoot. Coco Bandicoot. From Crash Bandicoot and Crash Team Racing, you know. I always played as Coco Bandicoot when I was younger. I think I had a little crush on it. How cute. But then, of course, as I got older, my taste became more refined, and it was the trophy girls that I was into. You know what I'm saying? If you've played Crash Team Racing, you know the trophy girls. Oh my goodness me, they're looking good. They're looking good. And you know the Crash Team Racing remake. What is it called? Nitro Fueled. They made the trophy girls playable characters. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? They made the trophy girls playable characters. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. And what's her name? The one girl? Isabel, I think. Isabel. Wow. Wow. Let's just say she's like a smoking hot, blonde bandicoot girl. And you know she's also in that tight, shiny, it's like blue PVC. Whoa, mama, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Come on now. Come on now, let's be real. They know what they're doing. Stay still for me. How is that? was thinking about recently. I was thinking about how sometimes when you want something too much, it's like detrimental to you getting it. Does that make sense? Let's say you have some sort of goal, something that you want, and you're taking action towards it, you're putting in all your effort, and you want it really badly in your goal. Sometimes because you want it so badly, it somehow prevents you from getting it. It negatively affects your performance, I think. I think it affects you psychologically, without you even realizing it. It's some sort of subconscious psychology. Wanting something too much and too badly has a negative impact on you getting it, and on your performance in particular. Because when you want something but it's kind of casual about it, you're casual, you don't really care if you get it or not, but it would be nice if you got it, then I think that's when you perform better. I think you perform at your best when you're in that state, a sort of casual desire, when you don't really care that much about the outcome. I think that is when you're free to perform at your best. There's some sort of psychology. I don't really understand it. It's just a phenomenon that I have witnessed in myself. There's also that idea as well, like a god or a guardian angel or something like that. They prevent you from getting something you want if it's like harmful to you. You know what I'm saying? The easiest example I can think of is, let's say you wish that you would get really, really rich. You wish you'd be like a millionaire all of a sudden. But God or your guardian angel or whatever, they prevent you from getting really, really rich all of a sudden, because if you did, then it would be your destruction, your demise, your ultimate demise. Maybe because you wouldn't have self-control. You know what I'm saying? If you suddenly got an absolutely massive amount of money, what would you do? I'm sure many of us would be tempted to go on an absolute bender, drinking, taking drugs, partying, and maybe it would be your downfall. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you'd have like a drug-fueled orgy, and then maybe you die in the drug-fueled orgy because the excitement is simply too much. You know what I'm saying? So maybe God or your guardian angel or whatever might be looking out for you, prevents you from getting what you want, getting a lot of money, being successful, whatever it might be. Because if you did get what you want, if you did get success or money, whatever, then it would lead to your downfall. And they're protecting you, of course. They're on your side. They want what's best for you. Sometimes we don't know what is good for ourselves, do we? Sometimes we want things, but actually we don't really want them, because if we got them, bad things would happen. But we can't see that. We can't see into the future. We can't realistically appraise the situation. We lack the ability. Sometimes we lack the ability to see things objectively, don't we? Exactly. I can't get over the humidity in the office today. It's like I'm living in a rainforest. I'm absolutely boiling in this rain don't sweat, do you? You don't sweat. Oh, sorry about that. I forgot you're perfect, aren't you? I forgot you're perfect. And I'm just disgusting, sweaty, disgusting creature. But you're perfect. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Yes, after closer inspection, you are perfect. I didn't realise that. I didn't realise I was in the presence of someone who's absolutely perfect. I'm just joking. I'm just being silly, just joking. Come on now, haven't you figured that out yet? Haven't you figured that out yet? That I'm just silly. Silly person saying silly things. Don't take what I say seriously. That would be absolute madness. Absolute madness to take me seriously.
Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that absolutely wonderful and amazing? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let me get my first coloring pencil from my little pencil case. My little pencil case. What color shall we use first? What do you think? What do you think? What about? Let me see. Ah, a green color. What about a green color? I quite like green. Honestly, quite a nice color. Quite a peaceful color. Does that make sense? To describe a color as peaceful? I think it does. I think it does. Okay, stay still for me, please. I'm going to start coloring in your face. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Your face is absolutely perfect for coloring. Absolutely perfect. It's like it was designed for coloring on. You're basically just a walking, talking coloring book. You are a little bit lumpy though. You've got some lumps on your face that I need to avoid. What is this big thing here? What is that big thing? A nose. You call that a nose, do you? That's a funny looking nose. It's okay though, it's okay to have a funny looking nose. My nose is pretty big, you know. Pretty gigantic, in fact. Gigantic supremo. All the boys are jealous of the size of my nose. Oh yes, they are. I was gonna say that the girls love the size of my nose, but is that joke a bit too on the nose? Oh goodness me, do you see what I did there? Do you see what I did there? Is your little brain capable of fully understanding the nuance of that joke? The nuance. I'm joking. I'm pretending to be an egotistical POS. I know I'm not that smart. I'm pretty stupid actually. You know what I was thinking about recently? I was thinking about how when I was younger, I used to trust professionals 100%. And in particular, I'm thinking of like doctors and nurses and teachers, I suppose. I used to think these people are professional adults, highly intelligent, highly competent. They know what they're doing. They know better than me for certain. That's what I used to think when I was younger. But as I got older and I had a bit more experience, I got to know doctors and nurses on like a personal level outside of their work environment, you know, in their day-to-day life. I came to realize that actually they're just as stupid as everybody else. Just as stupid as everybody else. And you know what? Worse than that. Worse than being stupid. Worse than being incompetent. Is they have flaws. They have flaws just like every other human being. Can you believe it? Can you believe that these people, they're human?
I supposed to trust a medical professional when they are merely human? And every single one of them has some sort of flaw. Maybe it's like an addiction to something, or some sort of like mental illness or psychological thing that they're battling. We all have a little something, you know. I'm sure you do. I do. We all do. We all have something that we're battling with, you know. Oh goodness. So I'm moving you around a bit there, aren't I? You're okay though, you're okay. But yes, how am I supposed to take any of these professionals seriously anymore when I know that they're just like me? They're stupid and incompetent and struggling to get through day-to-day life just like me. Oh goodness me. That's like an illusion that you have as a child that gets shattered as you get older. You have this kind of image or idea in your mind that all adults know what they're doing, that they're all competent and intelligent and that they know better than you. That's how I felt anyway when I was a child. I don't know, maybe that's not a universal feeling or something, not a universal idea, but that's how I felt. I felt like adults were intelligent, competent, above me, better than me, because I was merely a child, a stupid little child, inexperienced, dumb, stuff like that, right? But then you become an adult, and you interact with other adults, and you realize that actually you're just as stupid as children, and struggle with things just like children do. Basically just big children, that's all we are, big children. You know what I think is the best thing? Experience. Experience is what genuinely makes the biggest difference in sort of your level of competency in this life, in this world, your ability. Experience, and that does generally only come with age. But you know, you can cram a lot of different experience into a short period of time if you do a lot of different things. Let me get another color. Let me get another color. Let's see, shall we? Let us see. What do we have? You know what I want? I want a red color, or some sort of red. Perhaps an orange. Orange. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Hello, are you paying attention? There is no way that you have gone to sleep already, is there? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You don't have this video on in the background somewhere, do you? You'd better not. You had better be paying 100% full attention to this video. Otherwise, do you know what? Do you know what? There will be severe consequences. There will be severe consequences. I could eat you. Okay? I could eat you, you know. Look at you down there. You're so small, and I'm so big I could just eat you. It'd be pretty easy, don't you think? It'd be pretty easy. I could probably swallow you in one mouthful. In one mouthful. Okay. Let's stop being silly and let's continue with this work of art. Okay? That's what we're doing today. That's what we're producing, a work of art. Are you okay there? Let me just double check. You don't seem very stable down there. I keep moving you around. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind. I'm bumping you around. Bumping and grinding. You'd like that, wouldn't you? You'd like it if we bumped and grinded, wouldn't you? You sick little freak. You sick little freak. I can see it written all over your face. I can see it. You can't hide it from me. That's okay. It's okay. We're only human. We're only human. It's to be expected, you know. It's to be expected. Some of these questionable little thoughts entering your mind every now and then. That's okay. It's okay. We can't be perfect, can we? What are we supposed to be, like Jesus 24/7, is it? Jesus was a god, you know. Or God, just period. As isn't that partially the whole point of God incarnating as a human, to experience what it is to be human, to understand us a little bit better, to empathize with us and be compassionate? I don't know, maybe that wasn't the point at all. Jesus pretty much just came to deliver a message, didn't he? Or multiple messages, I suppose. Lots and lots of different parables. Have you read the New Testament? Have you read it? Listen, I'm not coming at you like a preacher right now. I'm not trying to convert you. I'm not really Christian. I don't know. But I read it. Pretty good. There's some good stuff in there. In the New Testament. And the New Testament is quite interesting as well. Old Testament, boring. Mostly boring. The Old Testament is like 80% boring, 20% absolutely insane stuff. That's like mind-blowing and bizarre. And honestly, maybe difficult to understand or conceptualize, I don't know. That's what I would say, personally, but the New Testament is good. It's a fairly nice read, fairly easy read. And you know, it's interesting, keeps your attention. Useful little moral stories in there. Gets you thinking, stuff like that. You know, I'm going to read the Quran at some point. I don't know, it's a big undertaking, you know. When you read one of these large holy books, takes a long time, it does for me anyway. Because my brain is very small. Difficult for me to understand big concepts sometimes. And it's difficult for me to understand like old language, you know what I'm saying? It's like when I try to read Shakespeare. It's difficult for me to understand what the hell is going on. I'm not going to pretend that I'm intelligent, I'm not going to pretend that I'm intelligent. I just try and read some things sometimes because I think it might be interesting and they might contain some sort of knowledge. And I have a thirst for knowledge. Insatiable thirst for knowledge. Maybe that's why I also read occult books sometimes. It's been a while actually since I've read an occult book. But you know, I found that stuff very interesting when I was younger in particular. I guess I was wondering if it is real, if there is any truth to it, you know. I'm not sure. Didn't really reach any sort of conclusion. That's generally, let me get another color. That is generally what happens when I read these things. Religious books, philosophical books. It's rare that I ever reach like a really satisfactory conclusion, you know. I'm thinking this red next time. Thinking the red. Yes, sometimes I find that to be maybe frustrating, maybe disappointing, I think is the biggest feeling I get when I read some sort of religious text or philosophical work and I don't feel like it has filled the void within. I guess that's what I'm really looking for. Something that fills the void within. Have you filled the void within? Do you know how to do it? Could you tell me, please? Could you impart upon me the wisdom of how to fill the void within? Is there wisdom in those eyes? Let me check. Open your eyes for me, please. Nice and wide. Let me check those eyes. Is there wisdom in there? Is there great wisdom in those eyes? Oh, not sure. I can't tell if there is great wisdom or if there is complete and utter vacancy. Difficult to tell. I'm just being silly again. You know what? I know for certain, and a few things that I feel I know are true. But the only thing that I really come back to is fun and laughter. That's the only thing I really care about. I read all these philosophical books, I read these religious texts. It's like I'm searching for something, maybe just meaning, right? Some sort of meaning, some sort of purpose, something to dedicate my life to, or some sort of more concrete worldview and outlook. But ultimately, even after reading everything and all that, the only thing I really want to do is to laugh, and to make other people laugh as well. That's it. That's all I really care about, honestly. Maybe that is the highest ideal. For me personally, anyway. I'm sure other people feel differently. I'm sure there's some serious individuals out there, and they think that laughter and fun is absolutely pointless and trivial and stupid and a waste of time. I bet there's people out there that concern themselves exclusively with, like, achievement, you know what I'm saying? Achieving something great, producing something great, creating something great, building something great. That's probably a lot of people that feel that way. I don't really care about that stuff though. Although I do love creating stuff. But that feels more just like an innate part of my nature. I don't know. But that almost feels like a need for me. Like I need to be creative. And if I'm not, then I get depressed. But if I am able to be creative, even in small and simple ways, then it makes me feel very good indeed. It makes me feel much better. Makes me feel much better about this life. Do you know what I was reading the other day? It was some sort of like observation or study or something about the behavior of rats. I think I can barely remember it, but the conclusion was that if you have the ability to do something, anything, even if it appears to be mundane, then that action will keep you going, will keep your spirit alive. And I'm trying to think how it practically applied in this situation to the rats. They were in some sort of situation, right, where I think maybe they had to swim out of a container to free themselves. And the one rat just gave up very quickly because they realized they couldn't escape or whatever. But then the other rat kept going just because I think it had something to chew on, right? Which sounds absurd. How is that related to the will to continue and to escape? And it's just because if you have the ability to physically do something, it sort of tricks your brain into believing that you have agency and free will and the ability to do something. And if you have the ability to do something, then you have the ability to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Including escape, an inescapable situation.
turquoise. A bluey turquoise. Any more? Is there anything else in here? I've got another blue. Another blue. But this one is lighter. This one is nicer. But which one will go with your complexion the best? Which one will go with your complexion the best? I think this sort of, the one that's closer to green, will go with your complexion and with the colours that I've already put there. Let me see. Let me push this absolute mop of the hair out of the way. That is quite a nice effect. Oh, that is nice. It's darkening it. That's adding a bit of depth, isn't it? A little bit of depth. Oh. You're looking absolutely fantastic right now, by the way. Absolutely fantastic. I bet you hear that all the time, though, don't you? I bet you've always got people telling you that you look fantastic, that you look scrumptious, absolutely scrumptious. I get that too, of course, of course. The number of times I'm trying to just go about my daily life, trying to do some shopping, some food shopping, and I am simply accosted by women who absolutely adore me. I'm just joking. I'm just being silly. I'm just being silly. You know what I was thinking recently? I was thinking about the ego, right? And about how many religions and spiritual practices, it's very common for them to talk about transcending the ego. Like you have to transcend the ego, get over yourself to like reach nirvana, I suppose, to reach a state of enlightenment. But what if the opposite is true? What if you have to inflate and fulfill the ego? Maybe such a thing is not possible, but maybe it's also not possible to completely diminish the ego and to reach nirvana. But what if, yes, what if fulfilling the ego is actually the correct path to take to become more egotistical? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? You could certainly at least reach a point where you believe that you are like God.
makes up his like religion, right? And then the second half, it's all about magic. That's probably where he differs from the majority of atheists, is he believes in magic. I'm not sure if he actually believes in magic itself, or if he believes just in the power of ritual and ceremony to like alter the psyche and the human mind. And if you alter the psyche and the human mind, then you alter the outcomes of things in reality, which I think you could describe that as magic, could you not? I think so. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I read the Satanic Bible, but it's a pretty good read, honestly. I mean, I think so. I remember it being good. I think I was a teenager when I read it, though, but still, I think good. But one of the things he was talking about that I remember is that he believes that all religions are man-made, and his sort of evidence for it, his argument, is that you can see how each religion around the world serves a purpose that is like specific to the region and the people that it was made for. One of the easiest examples of this is if you look at Eastern religions. They will often talk about how, in order to reach enlightenment or nirvana, whatever, you have to have a non-materialistic approach to life. And how is that specific to the people and the culture in that part of the world? It's specific to them because in countries in the East, there's a lot of poverty. Let's say India, for example. There's a lot of poverty, right? There's a lot of people without food, without basic necessities. So if they're told by their religion, in order to reach nirvana or the goal or whatever, in order to become enlightened, you have to forego all material attachment, not all material things, then that's a good thing for them because they're already halfway there. And that sounds like I'm taking the piss a bit, right? But I'm not. It's specifically designed that way, or that is what Mr. LeVay is proposing. He's saying that the religion is specifically designed that way to appease to the people, because the people are poor. And let's say that the religion said the opposite. Let's say that the religion said in order to reach nirvana you had to become super rich and had to get a lot of material wealth and gain in this world. Well, that would mean that the majority of the population, billions, would simply be unable to do it. They would not be able to achieve nirvana, and they would have no hope of ever doing so because they're in poverty, right? Once you're in poverty, it's very difficult to get out, especially in an area of the world where there simply is not enough resources or whatever it might be, But yes, so the religion was specifically designed for the population. And when you say to a population, a poor population, that you can reach nirvana or heaven or whatever it might be by letting go of the material world and not having material possessions, it gives them hope. And that is the biggest thing, probably. It gives them hope and it keeps them happy. It keeps them going in life despite the difficult situations that they find themselves in. And also, you can take an even more sort of cynical, practical approach where you consider like the elite class, right? In every country there's an elite class, right? There's a small number of people at the top who essentially hoard the resources for themselves. They keep more than their fair share, and they want the status quo to remain the status quo. They want it to remain that way. They bad, and they don't want the general population to try and fight them and take resources away from them. So, having a religion that says it's good to not have any material possessions or attachment to the material world, that works in the favor of the elite class, of the elite people, because it discourages the general population, the poor population, from thinking to themselves, you know what, those people over there, they have a lot of resources. Maybe I should take some of those for myself. Maybe I should get together with all the other poor people around here, because we outnumber them. We outnumber the elite with all the resources, and maybe we should take their resources for ourselves. Such a thought is discouraged by a religion that states that no, materialism is bad. Materialism is bad. It's actually bad to have a lot of things. And they can even use that religion to think to themselves, you know what, those elite people with all their material wealth and their things, they're going to hell, but I'm going to heaven. So you see how advantageous such a religion and such a belief would be to the elite class that are ruling over the general population, a poor population, and taking advantage of them essentially. So you could even come to the conclusion that the elite class have specifically designed the religion that way as a means of population control and as a means of keeping the status quo. That's just one example. If you apply LaVey's logic to other religions, I'm not really sure what the purpose of or the conclusion of other religions would be. You could look at a more medieval religion, right? Let's look at paganism. Let's look at Norse paganism, Viking paganism. They believed that the only way to reach heaven was to die in battle. To die in battle, to go to Valhalla, to die with honor in battle. How is that useful? How is that useful? That's useful because at that time period there was a lot of violence and fighting, and it was very useful to have men want to fight so that, I don't know, they could serve their king or their jarl or their lord, and they could fight and they could claim land, resources, wealth. Probably the same thing actually. Probably just the rich, the elite manipulating the poor. They're saying things like, oh, if you go and die in battle, in glorious battle, you will live forever in Valhalla. That is the greatest achievement, the greatest accomplishment. So off you go, peasant, off you go and die in battle for me, your lord, and bring me wealth and expand my lands. When you think about it like that, it's almost difficult to think that anything else could be true. It almost seems clear that, oh, that is what is happening, isn't it? The elite are manipulating Yes, you can. Nothing and nobody is stopping you from just being a donut. Just be a happy little donut, living your happy little donut life, okay? That's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine, 100%. You have my permission. You have my permission to just be a little donut and just enjoy your little donut life. That's all that really matters. That's all that really matters. Don't worry about the big stuff. That's stupid. People spend their whole lives thinking about the big stuff and worrying about it. And then they forget to just enjoy themselves. That is the ultimate foolishness, isn't it? The ultimate foolishness. Okay. I think I'm happy with how this has come out, this little piece of art here. It's actually quite colourful, quite glorious, quite beautiful. That's you. Colourful, beautiful and glorious. You're beautiful, colourful and glorious. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye to you now. And probably I will see you again in the future. Maybe we'll do some more drawing and colouring. I'm quite enjoying this. I hope you are enjoying it too. Bye bye, my little donut. Bye bye. Hello there. Hello there, little sausage. You're a silly little sausage, aren't you? Yes, you are. You're my silly little sausage. You know what I'm going to do with you today? That's right, you know already. I'm going to draw on your face. Yes. Today, I'm going to use some crayons, I think. Just to mix it up a little bit. Let me get my crayons from my pencil case. Okay, my pencil case. Let us see. I have a limited number of crayons, okay? So we are going to be a little bit limited in the colors. In fact, I can show you right now. These are all the colors I have. A green, a red, a blue, a yellow. What are they? Are these primary colors? And then this is a secondary color. Is that true? I don't really know colors and stuff very well. Why don't we use the yellow to begin with? That's what I'm thinking today. That's what I'm feeling. Using the yellow. Let's see. Where should we start? Oh, look at that. Look at that color. That is beautiful. What an absolutely beautiful color that is. I bet this sounds kind of soft. because I acknowledge the temptation to eat this crayon, I'm a baby, am I? No, I'm just more honest than most people. Most people wouldn't acknowledge the desire that they have, the temptation deep within to eat the crayon. But I will acknowledge it, and not only will I acknowledge it, but I will voice it out loud to others. Because I don't care if other people think I'm weird or crazy. I will share every aspect of myself. I'm an oversharer. Is that true? I don't know. I'm actually quite quiet and private, really. IRL, you know what I'm saying? IRL. Maybe with you, I overshare. But that's because you're special. You're special. That's like I said earlier. You're my special, silly little sausage. You're my silly little sausage. That's right. You're my silly little sausage. I'm tapping my silly little sausage on the face. Don't tell me you don't like that. Don't pretend like you don't like it. I know you like it. I can see it written all over your face. You're so easy to read. So easy to read. This looks beautiful already. This looks beautiful already. Let me use a different color though. I think maybe green. Or is that going to be too much with the yellow? What do we think? I think let me try the red. Let's get a little bit of red on here. Oh, that's dark. Oh, that is a dark red. That is a strong color indeed. Very strong indeed. That looks nice. That looks very nice if I color the outside and the inside. Oh, that creates a beautiful effect. Absolutely beautiful effect. I'm talking like contouring. This is creating so much depth. You know what I was thinking recently? Because I had a big nasty spot on my face. I had a big nasty spot on my face and I was thinking, I don't know if I can record a video with this on my face, you know what I'm saying? Especially not one of these videos where I'm literally an inch from you. That wouldn't look too good, would it? I don't think you would like to stare at a gigantic volcanic spot on my face for 20 to 30 minutes. Not when it's 1 inch from your face, not in 4K. Oh my goodness me, a volcanic spot in 4K. No thank you. No thank you. But I was thinking, what could I do? What can I do about this spot? And I imagine a lot of girls that create content, they just put makeup on. They probably just put makeup on the spot, right? You can probably get rid of a spot with makeup, right? I think so. Put enough foundation on there or whatever, concealer. I don't really know, but probably you can. What if I started wearing makeup? What do you think? Do you think I'd look good? Do you think I'd look good? Oh yes, baby, I think I would look good, you know what I'm saying? No, I was thinking of like subtle makeup. Subtle makeup. I'm not actually going to do this. I don't care enough to do it. I think I probably would just record with a gigantic volcanic spot on my face anyway. And you know, if I get hateful comments, I'd be like, lol, don't care. But yes, I was watching Disguised Toast. Do you know Disguised Toast? He's like a live streamer slash YouTuber, content creator. I think he's mostly known for Among Us film him doing stuff, and when they film him, they will have like a makeup artist on the crew that will put makeup on him, and you can't tell. I mean, I couldn't tell that he was wearing makeup. It's obviously very subtle, especially for men, right? And they're just, I don't know, trying to make their face look even and blemish-free, I imagine. Trying to hide any little spots or imperfections or whatever. It's all kind of unnecessary rubbish, really, isn't it? But it does go to show you how fake everything is online. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, photos are the easiest to manipulate and to edit. Very easy to edit a still image to make yourself look better than you really are. But even video, it's easy, you know. If you have the right lighting, the right setup with the camera, that alone will look fantastic. Or make you look better than usual anyway. And then, in editing, you can change the brightness and the contrast and the blah 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 again to make yourself look better than you do IRL. And that's before you even think about using filters and things like that. So I'm going to use green now. So yes, I mean it does just go to show you how fake everything is online, isn't it? How fake it is. If you saw me in real life, you'd probably think, ew, Ross, you look ugly. What the heck? You look so much worse in real life than you do on camera. Obviously, I've got some nice lighting here, kind of. I've edited this video in post, you know. Changed it a little bit. I don't do that much, honestly. I don't care, but maybe that's to my detriment. What if I started putting more effort into making myself look beautiful, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'd get more views. Who cares to some degree? To some degree, who cares? It's whatever. But, you know, it's something to think about and to consider. Maybe sometimes you look at somebody online, you look at someone you look up to, and you think to yourself, this person is so beautiful and so perfect and amazing, and they're so much better than me, and maybe you get feelings and thoughts like that, but the person you're looking at and thinking those thoughts about doesn't exist. That is a fake version of themselves, a highly edited version, so that they look their best, sound their best, everything. In real life, they're not quite as good as they portray themselves online. Everybody is human. We're all human. We're all the same. We're all imperfect in certain ways, but also we're all good in certain ways. We're all capable of something, all talented at something. So, you know, I'm just saying it's important to remember, important to keep some perspective. Just remember we're all the same. No one is better than anyone else. Just because maybe they look better on camera, that's an edited, false version of them. You know what I'm saying? You look beautiful though. Right now. Oh.
saying earlier about Disguised Toast, I was talking specifically about him, but the thing I'm thinking about is not really specific. I was thinking about how, sometimes you can tell that somebody is a morally good person just by looking at them or meeting them, spending small time with them, whatever it might be. You get instantly the vibe of the person, and you think this is a good person, this is a morally good person. I think that is very good and true and valid to have that feeling and assessment. But there is something that haunts me. It haunts me. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with morality. But in my mind I can't stop thinking about it, from time to time at least. This looks good. But morality, the thing that haunts me, is that I think most people are only morally good in certain situations. And by that I mean in a sort of environment or situation of luxury, or not necessarily luxury, but where all their needs are met. What I'm thinking about is if we were all transported to a post-apocalyptic world, I think 99% of us would not be morally good. We would no longer be morally good, because we would be in a situation, an extreme situation of survival, where you would have to do immoral things to survive. And I think 99% of us, including myself, would do those immoral things to survive. And if that's the case, if we would be immoral in extreme situations, were we ever moral to begin with? Were we ever a good person to begin with? If we're only good when it's easy, are we good? I don't know. That's something that haunts my mind. I know we would all like to think that, even in the extreme situation, even in the post-apocalyptic world, I would still be good morally. I would still be a good person. I'm special, I'm good. Right? That's what we like to think and imagine in our minds. But it's difficult to put yourself in the situation realistically. Imagine that you've been hungry. Imagine you haven't eaten any food for 7 days. You've had limited water. You're alive, but barely, and you feel absolutely horrific. You feel worse than you've ever felt in your entire life. You're starving, you're about to die basically. You're on the verge of death. And then let's say an opportunity presents itself. Let's say you see a woman and a child and they have food. Now, you find yourself in a situation, in a moral dilemma, where you could, best case scenario, steal the food from the mother and child and keep it for yourself, eat it and survive. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, I suppose, is kill them and steal their food, right? Hopefully we wouldn't do the worst one. Hopefully we wouldn't kill them. But I think a lot of us would steal the food. I think a lot of us would. Even though that's morally bad, isn't it? That's morally bad. But the alternative is die. The alternative is starve to death, painfully, slowly. What are you going to do? Are you going to die? Are you going to sacrifice yourself to allow the mother and the child to keep their food and survive? Is that even the morally good thing to do? I would think so, yes. I would think so. But I think what would actually happen in reality is you, me, most people, 99% of people, would steal the food from the mother and the child
ourselves like, oh, that mother and that child, they probably went on and they found some more food. They're probably doing fine. They're doing absolutely fine. They found food. They found food. They're doing okay. Even though I stole their food and I ate it, they're still okay. It doesn't matter. What I did ultimately wasn't a bad thing. You know, that's what I think we would do. I think we would do something morally bad or questionable at the very least, and then we would rationalize in our minds our action so that we could go on believing that we're actually a good person, despite the fact that maybe we aren't. I don't know, but that is something that kind of haunts me. The idea that I myself and many others would likely do bad things in extreme situations in order to survive. And if we do that, then are we morally good at all? Or are we only morally good when it's easy and when it's convenient for us to do so? And honestly, I don't know. Can you really judge someone for doing something bad in an extreme situation like that? It's very difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult. It's suddenly more complicated and it's not as clear and easy as simply doing good or bad. It's not black and white, it's not binary. I don't know. This kind of stuff is in my brain a lot. It's in my brain a lot. Silly brain, I think. Silly brain. Why are you thinking about things like this? Brain. You naughty little brain. You wrinkly little piece of grey matter. Thinking about things. Thinking about things. Why not simply enjoy things? Why not simply enjoy life as it comes? Take it as it comes. One day at a time. One situation at a time. Do your best. And that's it. That's it. That's quite simple. Why are you overcomplicating things, you wrinkly little brain? You piece of grey matter. You overcomplicating things with thoughts. Thoughts, really? You're going to have thoughts. You're going to ruin this potentially blissful little experience that is life with thoughts. How dare you, brain? How dare you? Don't make me come in there, brain. Don't make me come in there and give you a little piece of my mind. My mind versus your mind. Who am I? Am I my brain? Or am I something else? Is my brain someone else? Is my brain an antagonist? Battling my own brain? What an absurd notion. What an absurd idea. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm sorry, my silly little sausage. If my little thought patterns are infecting your brain and filling your brain with thoughts that make you feel negative in some sort of way, my apologies. You don't need to think the thoughts that are in my head. They're in my head, they're not in your head. You can just dismiss the thoughts in my head. You can dismiss the words that come out of my mouth. You can listen to the words that come out of my mouth and you can think, what a load of rubbish. What is this idiot rambling on about? I'm just enjoying the lovely sounds and the lovely feelings of the ASMR. That is probably the correct thing to think. The wise thing to think. Dismiss my thoughts and my ramblings as the ramblings of an idiot. I think I would if I was in your position. I think I'd listen to me and I would go, what is this bloody idiot talking about? Oh well, at least it sounds nice when he whispers and when he colours. That's all that matters. Maybe you could take say, sort of gets under our skin, doesn't it? It like infects our mind, and it affects our mood. Maybe it brings us down, but maybe the correct response to that is to simply, completely and utterly dismiss them and dismiss what they said. To be like, you know what you just said, it's making me feel a bit rubbish and a bit bad, so guess what? I'm going to dismiss it. I'm going to completely and utterly dismiss it as simply negative, unproductive, stupid. I'm just going to dismiss it. It serves no purpose. If something serves no positive purpose, should we just dismiss it? I think yes. I think possibly yes. Maybe we should do that with our own thoughts as well. Maybe we should try and like self-regulate, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have our own little negative thoughts, don't we? But we could just dismiss them. We could just detach our emotion from the thought for a second, and we could analyze the thought, and we could think, does this thought serve any positive purpose? Does this thought improve my life in any way? No, it doesn't. So you know what? Delete that thought. Delete it from existence. It doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. I got rid of it. I deleted it. So that thought and the way it made me feel is gone. It's gone now. It's gone. I just got rid of it. I put it in the bin. I put it in the bin because it was rubbish. Because it served no positive purpose. It only brought negativity into the world. It was rubbish, and therefore I put it in the bin where it belongs. Where it belongs. You know what I'm saying? Or am I rambling again? Is this the ramblings of a madman? Are you listening to the ramblings of a madman right now? Certainly possible. I think all evidence points to that being the case. Look at it. Look at what we're doing. I'm drawing on your face right now. And I'm talking nonsense in a dark room. If that's not madness, I don't know what is. But I will say, you look absolutely sublimely beautiful right now. And I'm not just saying that either. I'm talking about this piece of art. These colours look absolutely sensational. I don't know how they've come together and blended to create this, but this is an absolute feast for the eyes. This is beautiful, actually beautiful. I'm not even joking. It's really nice looking. Really nice looking. There's like a great texture as well. A great texture. It's obviously because the crayon is waxy, right? What is a crayon? What is a crayon? What is like the chemical composition of a crayon? Is it wax? It's waxy. That's for certain. It's waxy. Is each colour must have some sort of slightly different chemical composition, don't you think so? Some sort of different mineral composition, perhaps. Different mineral composition. Chemical composition. I'm going to red now. Using red. Yes, I like this texture though. This texture that's been created from this excessive use of the crayons. It almost looks like the skin of a satsuma. Your face now looks like the skin of a satsuma, not in terms of colour, but in terms of texture. I like that
is the sound of your face. You sound like you're made of plastic. Are you made of plastic? You've gone a bit too far with the plastic surgery, haven't you? You have, haven't you? It's okay. I see you took it too far. You got carried away. You thought to yourself, that looks good. Maybe I'll get even more plastic surgery done. And now you've become a piece of plastic. Oh my goodness me. You little plastic individual. You're like a piece of Lego now. You're like a piece of Lego. You got so much plastic surgery done that you've become a piece of Lego. I'm just realizing now. The crayon smells good. It looks edible. It smells good. And yet I'm not supposed to eat it. I'm supposed to resist eating it. This is one of those absurd tests from God, isn't it? God is testing me. He made the crayon look delicious and smell delicious, and yet if I eat it, maybe I'll die from crayon poisoning or something. God loves to have these silly little tests, doesn't he? Why are you testing us, God? What is this game? Is it a game to amuse yourself? Does it get boring being an infinite being, living forever? I imagine it does. Sometimes I wonder if God made Donald Trump president for the lulz. You know what I'm saying? Just to watch everybody freak out. I thought that a while ago. It's like end stage capitalism, isn't it? Donald Trump becoming president. Because he's basically just a rich guy, isn't he? I don't really know anything about him or his politics, honestly, because I just don't keep up with it. I'm not interested, you know. They'll keep doing what they do regardless if I pay attention or not. And if I pay attention, it doesn't change anything. Not in my life, not in theirs. It just doesn't change anything. So I just don't pay attention. I just carry on with my life. Do fun little things, right? But it is funny to see everybody freak out. It's funny. I literally, the thought occurred to me, what if God made Donald Trump president just to watch everybody freak out and to have fun? Just to laugh at everybody. Laugh at all their reactions. I wonder if I would do something like that if I was God. Probably a good thing that I'm not God. I would do all these things to troll people, to amuse myself. I wouldn't be cruel though, come on. Come on, I'd be good. Just a little bit cheeky, have a little bit of fun. God must have a sense of humour. He absolutely must. Look at the world around us. There's no way he doesn't have a sense of humour. There's no way. You know what? I'm looking at this piece of art. It looks like a dark rainbow. That's what it looks like. A dark rainbow. And it looks brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I think we might be done for the day. I think we've reached a point now where if I do any more, it may ruin it. We're at that point. You know it most likely. If you're an artist like me, you know it. It's been silly. I'm being silly. Listen, a lot of the things I say, I'm just being silly. Don't take me seriously. Never take me seriously. Even if it sounds like I'm saying something serious. Even if it sounds like I'm saying something worthwhile listening to, don't listen to me. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot with a silly little YouTube channel where I make silly little videos. That's it. There's not much more to me. I'm not a very deep individual. Okay. you're here. Enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it is. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, baby. That's my approach to life. Just keep it simple, baby. Enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, go find something else to do that you do enjoy, you know what I'm saying? That's what I do. That's what I do. Anyway, you beautiful little creation. You beautiful little creation. Look at you. Look at you being all beautiful there. The audacity. The audacity of you to just sit there looking that beautiful. That's obscene. That's absolutely obscene. Oh, I'm going to say goodbye to you now, you beautiful little being. Goodbye. Bye, bye, bye. I'm wishing you the best. Okay, I'm going to send you some telepathic good luck and care and love, okay? And it's going to reach you. And it's going to infect you in a positive way. And it's going to help you to get through life. And it's going to help you to achieve your dreams. It is. I believe it is. Therefore it is. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that, okay? So there you go. There's some good luck. There's some love.